Hello, everybody. That's what I'm working on. I'm just making little drips down here, finishing it off. How are you? Another day in limbo. Sorry, I mispronounced paradise. For those of us who live in paradise, we salute you. I was actually born in Paradise, California. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Atheist Day, which was 3 years from now, actually. So I'm a little early on that one. It's a long story, but it involves a time machine that goes 88 miles an hour, and it's fucking rad. It's actually kind of a short story. It's based on a short story. Life, you know? The shortest story of them all. It's crazy how, like, when you die, other people just continue. It's like, as long as humans have been alive, it's just been this, like, leapfrog of knowledge throughout the ages. Because we can't retain it, but we pass our knowledge along and our energy along to those around us or whatever, whether or not they take it or not, you know? Has to land somewhere. Maybe that's why squirrels are getting smarter, because our souls don't have a human to latch onto close enough, so it's like, oh, fuck it, a squirrel, there's a squirrel. Or our souls are just like, a squirrel! And just goes after it like an excited dog. That's my soul, probably. I get distracted very easily. Thus, this is why I don't draw stick figures or simple things. I mean, I do, but almost for therapy. Sometimes you gotta be your own therapist. Art helps. If you give a shit about that sort of thing. You guys are cool. I like the questions in the comments. For some reason, the chat doesn't stay up, and I have to like reach over there and touch it. I don't know how to make it stay, because I want to be able to keep up if people are being awful and cool. If I had to choose between a snake or a person, Cobra Commander, probably. You know, 2 birds with 1 stone. He's a sick motherfucker too. Cobra Commander. Hey Joe. Is that Joel? Yeah. Hey Joel. Hey, Joe. I was just yodeling. Yodeling. Perfect. Right now in my headphones, I'm listening to a band called, it's like this new obsession of mine within the last year. They're called an obsession of mine within the last year. It's a weird name for a band, but it's true. They're called Penguin Cafe Orchestra. Hope your day's going good, Joe. You're in Canada, right? Canada is south, no, it's eastern, northern of regular, like mainstream Canada, right? What a trippy world we live in. What a world we live in. Is it kind of weird that they say like when you have a frog in your throat and then there's like you have horse throat and then like dog throat? I think right now I have tick throat. Ugh, it's like a parasite. Throat goat. I don't know. It's too early for porn story. It's never too early for porn jokes. Why are you yelling? Joel, somebody yesterday accused me of being on meth. And I had to ask them, why, you got any? Sharon is Karen, you know? Hey, bitch. Sharon. Hey, bitch. Hey, Karen. Hey, you. Where do you want? I want some. No, bro, I'm on live. I'm on meh. That's what I'm on, bro. I'm on meh. I knew London was in there somewhere. Ho, where are you from? I don't know, bitch, where are you from? Ho. I don't know if he meant it like that. That's how I read it. It's kind of funny. I'm just kidding too. You can call me ho. I identify as a ho, also a bro or a doe. Mostly a doe. But that was a long time ago. Anyways, where am I from? I live in California. I was born in Paradise. I lived in Idaho for 10 years and 2 months. I lived in the sewers in New York with a rat named Splinter for about 16 years. Oregon. Lived in Oregon for a while. I'm from planet Earth. Um, it's like that's what I figured. I was just kidding. That's this person misspelled ho on the bottom here. Hello ho. I'm just kidding. What up, ho? Anyways, I don't know why I'm still on that. It's kind of funny. But yeah, Penguin Cafe Orchestra is a really fun band to listen to because it's instrumental and it's like repetitive. And the song I really like right now, I think what they were actually doing, I'd be curious to know if there was like a theme behind it as far as like what they were trying, because they create these landscapes, these soundscapes. In my head, I see landscapes, but like, it's like how when you look at the ocean and you're on the beach, how there's like the undertow, you know, or like the undercurrent, and how it's on top it's moving, but on the bottom it's moving too. But it just looks crazy the way, and that's how life is, you know. That's how all of us are. We just like go in all these different directions. You shut your eyes, and I don't know. I see stuff when I shut my eyes, especially when I'm on acid. Like right now, I took 10 hits of acid, a handful of mushrooms, kind of like they would call that a heroic dose, and I smoked some PCP, and I jammed some electrolytes in this back of my subcutaneously in my back, like you would some, you know, like a dog or something like that. just for hydration. And the ayahuasca is going to be kicking in about 2, 1, right now. What the fuck? No, that's not cool. But seriously. Came here to do 2 things. Chew bubblegum and draw. Almost out of bubblegum, bitch. Sorry, Grandma. Just go back to sleep, okay? Love you. I wonder what she's doing here. Told her to go hours ago. She likes sleeping on cardboard. It's like the weirdest thing. Is there anybody out there? Underground Canada. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a Hollow Earth Canada, where like you just take an escalator down like 30 feet and there's this magical world of wonder and lore. It's Christmas. Every day of the year, except Black Friday, that's when you do all the Christmas shopping. And you have to get shit done. Like trampling over your loved ones to reach the salt. 'Tis the season to be fucked up. It's the most marketable time of the year. I'm not all bah humbug about that stuff. I don't like the commercialism of the holiday, but you can easily look past that bullshit and cut through and see some goodness. There's wonderful things happening out there all the time. All over the place. You've just got to know where to look. It's in a book. It's the book of life, my friends. And if there's only one book, it's your book. Not mine, not theirs, it's yours. So you write in that book. You make that book what you want to be. I'll read it. Hopefully, if I'm not dead yet. I'm sure your life is a bit more interesting than mine. See, I was raised at rock bottom. That's southern Australia, crossed with northern Manchester. On the Sundays, we would go down to Wales, which is in the north, and then shit on over to Alabama for a Tennessee sprinkle, if you will. It's quite convoluted. That's how we like it. A little con, a little voluted, a little right there, right in the middle. We used to call them slapjack Saturdays. And I'm losing the accent. Oh, I've lost it. It's gone. It's totally gone now. And this is just me back in California now. If you keep going past the attic, which is in the north, I imagine, because the up is north, up. Go over the ice wall and go to the bottom, which I have been. You will find the Canadian. It keeps going. Canadian Great imagery too. The Canadian Underground. The subways it's a fantastic subway system. Great music, food. Yeah, so. That's unfortunate. I imagine it's hard to grow with the mini sun that's in the flat earthers' homes. Sometimes it's hard to get, you can't bake bread with something so inconsistent, let alone grow crops and things like that. So I imagine it's a little bit difficult. Plus the water, I heard, has a little bit more like iron and like salt and stuff in it, so it's kind of like Idiocracy, but in reverse, if that makes any sense. I'd love to see it and read that book. It's very important, Joel, that we talk about these things, that people know about these things. So thank you for bringing awareness to our beautiful fucked up little world. All right, shall we draw a little bit more? I wish I could just hold that. That's almost better, huh? Goodbye. She always says goodbye to me. Hey. That reminds me of a song. God damn it. Shit on a stick and call me Rick. Get the... She always says goodbye to me. That's all I got so far. It's catchy though. Let's get going with it. Let's get, what do they call it? Jiggity? Let's get jiggy. For me, it's probably wiggity. That's why I hate race. You can't like, I hate race. That's like the worst thing I could probably say. I hate skin, bro. Ho. I'm a bro. I'm a ho. What do you know? I'm a hoe, bro. Better that than a piece of shit on Capitol Hill. All right. I was learning a Sleepy Seahorse song because it's a song that I wrote probably when I was like 15 years old. I don't know the whole song, but I know a little bit. I don't know why, I don't know how, I thought everything what? Something like, oh god, it's such a great song for the lyrics. Oh, that's right. What is it? What's the second word? I thought everything was it all about. I was. Oh, okay. Oh, it is just like there's a Flaming Lips song called Five Shot Mother's Superior Rain or Five Stop Mother's Superior Rain. It's the same exact chords. And then there's a Beck song in the same exact chords. And when Flaming Lips toured with Beck, they played the same song. It's the same exact chords as the Flaming Lips song that they put out in like 85 or something like that. It's like, what the hell is going on around here? There's only like 2 chords in the world. Musicians are the biggest frauds of them all. Why are we giving those people our money at all? They don't deserve our money. Spotify has it right. Fuck musicians. That's what this upside down. That's what this W means. It's W. It means fuck musicians. That's exactly what. I thought everything worked the way it should, but I was wrong. Home again, can't go home again. What does it say? Can't pull time. Oh yeah. Can't pull space and time won't bear. Can't go home again. But when I was a kid, I would sit out in the garage when I was like 15. I had this really, I had saved up a bunch of like lawn mowing money to buy myself my first guitar. And it was like a cheap ass Japanese guitar called Hondo. Hondo. My buddy and I, Dave, made a song about it, or we wrote a song called Hondo. Anyways, when we were that age. But it's not that funny. It's funny to us. But you know, I fucking love that thing, man. It was the best thing ever. Because up until then, I had acoustic for like a year, and it was a nylon string that I didn't know how to change the strings, and it was always missing the E at the bottom, or the high E, I guess. And I don't know, nobody would, thinking back, it's just funny, because I did have that missing string, and nobody ever even like offered to help, like fix it or anything. Of course, I spent all my money on the guitar. And yeah, the first like thing on the guitar one night, I was messing around, and you're just goofing off, and you come up with stuff mostly. But basically those notes right there. But I think mine was more like a Just like a really repetitive. But then, because I didn't understand how chords worked or anything like that, or what that note what even was at that time, I had no idea. I knew 5 chords when I first started playing, which my sister's boyfriend Seth wrote down for me. Caged, caged. And I took those 5 chords when I was 15, and I taught myself how to play guitar. And I wrote like 50 songs out of those stupid chords. And I'd be like, not looking at the guitar, and then I would accidentally do this. In the E shape, I would do an E shape, but it was in the wrong spot. And I'm like, whoa. It's like, what is that? And so I'd be like, oh, it's just an E, but it's over one, which is obviously an A, well, not obviously, but it's an A minor is what I'm playing, and I just didn't know that. So I literally had to like learn everything from scratch. That's how I am with art too, you know. So I feel like Joel was talking about it yesterday. We talked for like 2.5 fucking hours yesterday. It was awesome. But I never went to art school or anything like that. And at when I was 17, I thought that it would just stifle me. And then like sort of like I'm echoing what Joel was saying a little bit, because they do try to cleanse you almost, you know, and like get all these kind of like boot camp in a sense. How you go into a boot camp, and the idea is that they shave your head, they make you like uniform, they literally make you look just like everybody else around you. That way, they take your humanity away, you know. And in this case, I don't think art schools necessarily, try to do that, I guess. But I think with some of us, they can do that. Some people, I'm sure it's a great place to go, but I don't think I would have liked it. Plus, I don't like the structure of school. I don't like. I fall asleep in classes, and it's like I need to be doing shit, you know. And even if I'm learning anything at a day job or whatever, I have to be moving and learning with my hands. Like if somebody's just talking to me about something, I'm like falling asleep, you know. It's a curse, you know. Horrible. Because that's how I was ever since I was a child. You know, I couldn't pay attention in class. Just didn't care. I had like other things to do, even like as a kindergartner. I was checked out. I was like, no, I know what I want to do. This is even when, yeah, all the other kids would draw, and there was like a lot of other kids that would draw. And the older you got, you know, like you would. Now I'm looking back, you know, before the 5th grade or something like that. Like everybody drew. All the kids would draw and stuff like that. And some kids were really fucking good. A lot of kids were way better than I was. I thought. I would tell them, even at a young age, I would encourage them, like, my art is shitty. I'm like, no, it's not. You're shitty. Then just keep drawing. Life is shitty, you know. Fuck the universe, right? Son of a gun. I left my guitar. I left my guitar. I left my guitar out here in the garage overnight. And it says it's in tune, but even though I'm playing one string, that doesn't sound right. It's gotta be my stupid ears. I was gonna ask Joel yesterday too, if you're still there, Joel. When you went to art school, what did you major in? Like, what kind of art did you make? I don't know if I've ever asked you that. Like, I think when we were talking about stuff, it sounded like you painted or drew, illustrated, maybe, or something. I don't know. That's what I was thinking, anyways. This is a love song about Father Time and Mother Nature. to bathe in eternal flames, sucking honey from our graves. I think rattles. You'll always be a shining star. Yeah, this you'll always be a part of it all, and time goes on, and time remembers everything, and time has got me by the balls. You're the branch at the tip of the tree that snapped itself and fell to be free. And now you're bouncing off of us when we sleep. You're taking time to apologize to every limb you meet, and time goes on, and time remembers everything, and time has got me by the balls. You're at the cusp of every kiss. Between us two, it's you they're gonna miss. You bring the ocean to my heart, and now I'm drowning in your bliss, because I swam out too far, and time goes on, and time remembers everything, and time has got me, that's right, by the balls. You're at the cusp of every kiss. Between us two, it's you they'd rather miss. You bring the ocean to every heart. And yeah, it's true that you'll always be much more than just what you are, and time goes on, and time remembers everything, and time has got me by the balls. Yeah, based on a true story. We don't have much left, you know. Much time. Best to be friends. And be better people, I guess, while we have time. I know I could be better. And I know that you deserve better. I wrote that song on that guitar too. When I got this on my birthday. I got this guitar on my birthday. It was Friday the 13th of 2010. November 13th, 2010. I turned 30 years old. It was a Friday the 13th and it was a full moon. And I just got my paycheck and I needed a guitar because I had just fucking destroyed my Taylor on accident. I was in a bar. I didn't destroy it, that's right. I used to run an open mic at this bar in Portland. And I had a really, 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 really nice Taylor guitar with a cutaway and electric acoustic. And there was this booth. It was like this diner sort of room in this bar that where we would set up and stuff and play. And I had my ukulele in its case, and it was sitting on top of my guitar in its case, and they were both soft cases. And at some point during the night, some fucking person went over there, didn't see my shit sitting there. It was in the booth, but the whole booth was covered with stuff, like equipment and stuff. So I figured nobody would even ever try to sit there. But somebody tried to sit in that stupid booth, and they didn't see my guitar or my uke, and they sat right on my uke, which crushed the face of my Taylor in on itself. And I actually, from 2010, and what was it, in 2023, it's like 13 years later, I took that shit into a guitar shop because I was just like, I had been carrying it around for years, thinking I might be able to get it fixed. And it was just, the guys were like, no, there's nothing we can do, man. It would cost more to fix it than it would to just, get a new guitar. So I forget what I did with it. I think I just gave it to somebody for parts or something, whatever. But it was the nicest thing my dad had ever given me. It was this $1,100 guitar. It's the nicest thing he ever did for me. And some fuck. It's my own stupid fault. I should have had a hard case from that motherfucker. But it was just the nicest. When I got that guitar, they gave it to me for my birthday, like in, what was it, 2005 or something like that, maybe? And I had the house my apartment to myself that weekend. My buddy was out opening Dutch Bros drive-thrus somewhere. So I had like a weekend to myself with this new guitar, and I wrote probably like 12 songs, and I recorded like 12 songs. Of course, they're not like, when I say that kind of stuff, it's not like they're like masterpieces, but all it takes is like sitting down with like a new instrument or like a guitar with new strings, and all these ideas just like come out. It's just like a floodgate, I'm sure it's like that for a lot of musicians. But it is just like 1 second you don't care about anything, you just want to die or whatever, and the next second you're just like, I want to play guitar. Especially at school when I first started playing, that's how it was. I just could not wait to ride my fucking ass home and even just touching that fucking guitar. Could not wait to the second I started learning how to play, I was already writing songs, because before I ever played instruments, I had songs in my head. Earworms. You know how you like walk around the house and you're like singing to your cat and shit? I am definitely that person, but I would write operas and in different voices and shit. So it's really cool once I started playing guitar, because then I could, of course, the very first song I ever wrote was a song called My Socks. And it literally went like this, and I actually played this in front of people, and it was just E and A, I think. I like to wear my socks. Wait. God, it's all out of tune now. I like to wear my socks. They make me laugh. I wish I could wear them when I'm in the bath. I like to wear my socks all day long. I like to wear my socks. It's why I wrote this song. And there were more, tons of verses. Because people would always make fun of me because I wore colored socks as a teenager, as a boy. Even in 1995, I guess that was kind of different. But to be honest, I saw Kurt wearing women's clothing and nail polish and like red socks or something in a photo, and those Jack Purcell like Converse shoes that he used to wear and shit. And I was just like, I want to be that. Things evolved. That was when I was like 15 or 14, but still, it was because of Kurt that I even picked up a guitar and wanted to play it. Like, I tried when I was 12 to pick up a guitar. To try to pick up it. I picked up a guitar when I was 12, but I had no idea how to play it, and I asked for lessons, and nobody answered the call. But then I started playing when I was 15, 3 years later. I'm so happy I did. But it was because of Kurt and Nirvana, because I mean, I had heard stuff before, punk and all sorts of anything really, but I was like way into Pink Floyd. And then when I first started listening to Nirvana, it took me a second to like really kind of for it to get through to me anyways. I know it's probably different for everybody, how you come across music in different ways, and it means different things to different people. That's what art is all about. But for me, it was just like I had never heard. And he looked like me too. He's like as a kid, it's like it, he wasn't didn't seem like he was trying to impress anybody, and it was just this whole different attitude about so approach to like making art. And he was also a gifted visual artist too. He did a drawing of Mr. Mustache, and and I think it was like it was his dad, that Mr. Mustache, the caricature was his own dad, and it's so fucking weird because it looks just like my freaking dad, how I would draw my dad when I was a teenager. There's like a lot of, there were like when I was a kid, I would sort of attach myself to artists, but with Kurt, it was just like there were so many weird little coincidences, and I think that's we could all relate to somebody because you see the pain in somebody. It's not like they're just because before that it was like hair metal bands and they were on MTV and all this stuff. They were every so often you see these little sparks of genius, and stuff, here and there, but or alternative. As a kid, I wasn't exposed to like a whole lot, but I was into like a whole different style of music in the seventh grade or whatever. But then rock and roll was introduced like in a big way when I was in the seventh grade with Led Zeppelin, and that led into Pink Floyd and this whole like atmospheric sound, which before I started playing guitar or doing anything like that, I was always like, well, I could never do that, so why would I even try to pick up a guitar? But then, so when I saw Kurt and how simple how music could be, and how simple and effective it is, and how it saved me, like, and it saved others too. And I'm not just talking about Nirvana, but music and art. It saves people's lives. And it certainly has saved me countless times. It's unfortunate that hmm, it's just unfortunate that sometimes you don't get a chance to thank people for what they did. But I guess the meaning of life for me anymore is to stay alive long enough to show people that I am grateful, and because this is my way of saying thank you to those fuckers. It's like I wouldn't be here without them. I think that's what art does too. It makes people feel less alone. Hopefully. Like somebody else out there feels the way I do, and it's like it's important to remember that. I forget that shit all the time. I have this poor me attitude that's always followed me through life. It's pathetic. It's this victimhood thing where it's like I'm finally like waking up out of it, realizing that you poor me bullshit, Doesn't mean anything. Yeah, you can feel sorry for yourself all you want. It's not going to change anything. It's just going to make you feel like shit. And sometimes people feel like shit for so long that they don't know how else to feel. So when they feel good, they feel it's wrong, or they feel guilty or something. Or like there's some kind of catch. And a lot of times there is, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't seek happiness or being content or whatever. Peace. Just some peace of mind. It's not easy, but when you find it, you got to hang on to it. And always try to get back there. And help others find it too. That's the thing, man. not kicking the ladder down behind you, but like helping people up, picking people up, which I have failed. I have failed at a lot. And there's some people I wish I could apologize to, but I can't. And I do end up repeating myself a lot, so I apologize. I'm not trying to be all Debbie Downer over here and shit. I'll be bouncing off the walls here in a second. Don't worry. Is anybody gonna go see the big football game? Oh shit, there's people writing stuff? Fuck, man. It doesn't go down when I'm sorry. I didn't see all these hey Josie. Oh good. Piano. Let's see, then the chat goes here. Hold on a second, I'm sorry. It's my guitar that was on the stand and snapped the headstock. Oh man. Oh, did he at least buy you another one, Joel? Or fix it? I remember to myself 10 years ago. Try to teach myself a few chords. Some watercolors and paper. Oh, cool. Watercolors are like my favorite. I had a really awesome art teacher when I was a senior, you know? And that's like one of the persons I wish I could go back and thank, you know? Because she was an asshole in the best of ways. Like I wasn't like, for the first time in my high school career, I went to 3 different high schools. The first 2 years of high school, I took art, and it was a really small school, and so I stuck out as far as like, you know, being a creative kid, especially in art class, and I was just a teacher's pet, and she just let me literally do whatever I wanted, and I was the only like, then I was a freshman, but I was the only freshman because my brother was a senior at the same school when I was a freshman. So I was the only freshman that for some reason was able to go out into like the woodshop area and hang out with the seniors. And my brother was out there too, but that's probably my brother Gabe. He's a very good artist too. I'm trying to. I was always all my family's like hella creative, but some of us there's very few of us that I think I'm probably the only. I don't think my niece even makes art anymore. She's pregnant, but she blocked me and canceled me a while ago, and I don't know why. It's I've never raised I've told this before. I've never had any issues with my niece in my her entire life, 23 years of her life, and then without even speaking to me, my brother shared a message with her that he shouldn't have, and then she canceled me and blocked me after sending me these horrifically bad, awful messages. Like she just, I'm sorry, sorry to get personal, but it's just like she's gonna be giving birth like next month with and I have no idea what's happening with them. They don't talk to us, and it's just really sad. And my brother's, it's like he's just like gone. Anywho, it's just part of the story, just because, you know, he was just such an inspiration to me as a kid. He taught me how to draw a lot because he was before me, 4 years ahead of me. So anything that he was doing, I'm sure that I was watching him draw, and he was a good artist. And then, but then I would see things where if it's like music, I'll like grab the guitar, but then instead of, oh yeah, I'll just pick it up and I'll just learn it. No, it's like, I'm riding my bike home as fast as I can to play that fucking guitar and write songs, like, because they're just pouring out of me, you know? And it's like this thing where people say, like, you shouldn't draw every day, or you shouldn't do this every day. It's like, fuck you. You shouldn't tell me what to do. I'll draw every day. I would, if I had time and if I had a recording system here, I could do an album a month probably for the rest of my life. If I had the means, or at least an album a year, a good album a year, or shitty albums every month for the rest of my life, and I would never get bored of it. Everybody around me would, of course, but I have a friend who like built a recording studio in his house. Lucky motherfucker, doesn't even use it. State of the art to new music. I think this is, there we go. Yeah, I'd say when it comes to music or anything like that, Josie, too, like it sounded like you said you tried to teach yourself, but yeah, the thing with me is like with art, I was lucky because my guts are making noise. I was always drawing, right? So, but when I was 15, a new obsession came in the form of guitar, and I had my first guitar was like a little nylon string, like I was saying, and uh, but anyway, so I stopped drawing altogether, except for maybe when I was at school or stuff like that. But I would be drawing like for solid all the fucking time, drawing my comic books and these different characters and things like that, comic strips, and and then I started playing guitar, kind of cut back on the drawing at home. Anyways, like I said, I keep repeating myself. It's like Groundhog's Day. Um, and I played guitar like solid for like 3 months. And then I found I think by the time I was around 18 or 17, 18, definitely 18 was when I lived by myself in Grants Pass in a studio. And I was able to sort of merge the two worlds together and find a balance with writing and creating. And then over the years, especially in Idaho, I got way better about like having like a schedule. Like, as my partner, she'd be upstairs sleeping, but I would get up hella early after I quit drinking, in 2011. So I would get up at 2 in the morning, just go downstairs, put headphones on, and just be rocking out, recording music and writing, and sometimes painting or whatever too. But I had a room downstairs and everything with my home studio basically that I had built up over the years, and I recorded as much music as I possibly could. I literally recorded until the computer that I was recording on caught fire in Portland. It caught fire. It like exploded in my bedroom. That's how great the rock and roll was back then. That's not true. Oh, I see. You like my oh, thank you. Sorry, chat doesn't stay up. But my mom, it's not my mom, my aunt last night, we went to the Melodrama in Grover Beach. It was really cool. We watched the Christmas Carol and a few other, they did like a Sleeping Beauty thing and like a vaudevillian thing, and it was really fun. And um forget what I was gonna say about that. Yeah, oh, that's right. Because there was somebody there. Obviously, the person was playing the piano and stuff. I guess that's playing the piano. I thought it was like puppets, like. Um, oh, that'd be interesting. Like somebody playing the piano while they're playing puppets, or like operating the puppets down below. Two birds, one stone, right there. Yeah. So I say a lot and like and stuff a lot. So I apologize for that in advance, and you know, post, after, before, pre roll. Um, I just did it again. Hold on a second. Let me think about what I was saying before I say one more time. My aunt asked me if I could play the piano. And I said, "Are you joking? I mean, come on." See, I can totally play. All right, everybody. This is how it goes. Yeah. 1, 2. Oh shit! Gonna drop that motherfucking beat. Shit. Hold on now. Don't. Hold on. Wait 1 second. 1 second. Merry Christmas, everybody, motherfucker. Shit. All right, here we go. All right. Not bad. Okay. Sure, why not? And let's crank it up a little bit. Okay, maybe just one more time. Let's start from the beginning. Oh shit. Drop that motherfucker. Yeah. 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 Okay, here we go. See that? I mean, so that's basically, I told my aunt, that's what I told my aunt. That was my answer. That's how we rock, and that is how we roll. In the hood. No offense to all you fakes out there, you posers, but in the hood, that is how it is done. Okay, well, 1 second. 2 seconds. Chat keeps disappearing. Hey, Rick. It's been a minute. Toe puppets. It's going really good, Rick. Rickety Rick. Everybody, Rick is my old friend from the Moonbase 14. Rick, everybody, Rick. You old son of a bitch. Where are you? We've been worried. How did the questioning go by NASA? Yeah, no. I heard that you were at the Buzz Aldrin office building down in Tallahassee. Was that a false rumor? Down south they call that fake news. Up north they call that false rumors. Yeah, I guess rumors usually are false. That's the point, right? Oh, cool. Good. I hope the traveling is going well and the family is safe and sound down in southern. Is Australia southern Canada? How do you pronounce southern Canada? Is it Australia? Canali? How do you... Where? What the... Huh? Well then. Good day, mate. So stupid. If anybody didn't know, he's from Mexico. Oh shit, you are from... See? Exactly. I was just gonna say Mexico. You read my small little brain. My read my mind, bro. Oh, look who it is. Mean Jane. Where's my bloody ski mask? Mean Jane. You don't belong here. Where'd you find it? How are you? I was just crying a minute ago. Almost. Crying for the world. For the world. That's where Nan Nan's voice came from too. It was the beginning of Lord of the Rings. And then there was this channel. I think I told Gene this a long time ago, but there was this channel on YouTube. Oh gosh, what is it? Paranormal? Yeah, Paranormal Scholar. And she's like this beautiful woman that like just talks with this awesome accent and talks about all sorts of fucking cool paranormal shit. I think she's Irish. Oh no, I think she's Scottish, maybe. Yeah, maybe Scottish. But she's really rad. I would actually suggest people going over there and checking out her channel because she's cool as shit. But she's got a really cool voice, and that was when I do my Nan Nan voice. It started in Portland, and then, like I was saying a few weeks ago to Gene, it's like at first it was just going to be just a female voice in the background. Nan Nan was supposed to be like a reporter for like the BBC, and a field reporter for like the arts and entertainment division of the BBC. Didn't quite work out that way. Well, she wasn't never supposed to be on camera, but then when I moved down here, I was like, I want to dress up like Nan Nan because I was thinking it'd be fun to dress up like her and go out in public and just ask people about art and like, how the man in the street kind of stuff or whatever. But just go out and just ask like really bizarre questions of people about art and or even just ask serious questions about art and just see what people even know about art. But then have Nan Nan, her personality be like, kind of quirky and odd. And they would be like, what? Like, huh? It would be really funny. The chat keeps disappearing, and I don't know why. Is it because I'm disappearing? Is the picture disappearing? Or is it me? Yep. Where did the picture go? It's gone. It's Go on. Oh, no, there it is. Got caught in a fly trap. I don't know how I can see it, because it is invisible. Not quite visible. Kind of like me. Down here in limbo. The first circle of hell. It's also the coolest. Because pretty much everybody here is innocent. Until proven guilty. Jane, I miss you. Jane, these are all my Australian friends. They're probably like, who is this person? They're probably like, who is this person? I don't know if I can come up. I was thinking about coming up, and then I'm still, obviously I'm going to. It's just a matter of when. Money is the thing. I think it'll be a lot easier maybe a few more months from now, but I have a few big things coming up, and there's also things I just need to get squared away, like my health and my mind. I just haven't been well. I haven't been well brainily. I mean mentally lately. Like right now, there's like a little the size of a pimple like on the side of me. It just really hurts. Just hurts, and it hurts from the inside out. You know how that is. Thank you. That's handy. Handy Andy. Handy Andy, you're my friend. Handy Andy till the end. You old son of a gun. Rick, it's really good to see you. I'm going to draw another leg right down here. Here, watch. We can draw it together. Hold on. Hold on to your biscuits. Hold on to your boss. No, I didn't say boss. I said boss. Boss, your employer. Hold on to your boss. Stupidest fucking joke. That's the one thing you can count on when you come to my channel, everybody. Some fucked up shit. Everybody's looking for some fucked up shit. And they're looking on the internet. The wrong place to go. The wrong place to be on the internet with you and me. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Story Glove Club. I'm just gonna be talking about some shit and doing some fucking shitty shit. How about them apples? Moderators can cuss. What's you? Shit? Oh yeah, so what was it? I think what I would do too is my mom would go with me part of the way up to Chico, and I could drop her off at her old friend Sam's house, and then I'd go up north, see my dad for a minute, head over to Portland, see you, see Andy, see Portland, piss in the street or whatever they do up there. I'd take a shit in the street somewhere, the usual, and then shit rolls downhill, so I'll just kick it on back down to California. It's kind of, wait, am I the shit? Yeah, I'm the shit rolling downhill. Yeah. Yeah, I'm rolling downhill. I'm the shit. I'll be here for the rest of my life. Which, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh shit. Okay, it's only 7 away, so we're getting there. You gotta do it while you can. You gotta live it while you got it. You gotta drop it while it's hot. You gotta kick it at the bottom. You gotta stab him in the throat. Well, that's a different channel. That's my self-guided meditation channel. Stab deeply into the throat. Twist, turn. Extend your fangs. Draw the blood into your mouth. Feel their life force, leaving them and filling you up. If there's any kids watching, that's not the way to make love. Making love is just go listen to a Beach Boys song or something like that. It'll tell you all about it. It'll tell you all about it. A little about love and a lot about me. There you go. Oh shit. I just made a mistake. A little mistake leads to greater catastrophic problems. One little mistake leads to Armageddon. That's how the universe began, actually, with one little mistake. And then the big boom. It was the big boom, the biggest of them all. It wasn't too big, and it wasn't too small. That doesn't make any sense. Somebody's been lying to us about all these nursery rhymes. Remember, Gene, when we were talking about that? I take Looney Tunes over any self-help guru any day of the week. Bugs Bunny is my soulologist, just so everybody knows. If you don't know what a left turn in Albuquerque means, then I'm not going to tell you, that's for darn sure. Okay, I'll tell you. It just means that, no matter where you're going in life, no matter what direction, it's not the wrong way, no matter what. And that's what Bugs Bunny was always trying to get at. In that Bugs Bunny, that classic Bugs Bunny sort of way. He was warning us. He was telling us. He was being a little fucking asshole about it, too. Nobody was paying attention. Except for the ones that were. And there was a lot of them. Billions of them. On another planet far, far away. In the desert of the solar systems of the Uranus. I've never been there, but I've heard it's nice. The ayahuasca is finally starting to really come back and kick in again. I've had diarrhea 3 times, and I have vomited about 17 times, and I do apologize. I deeply, deeply apologize. Oh, I'm on a trip. Oh, give me a sip of life in my cup. Oh, shucks. Get in the back of my truck. We're going tripping on some ayahuasca vine in the jungles of Peru. Let's get lost, me and you, in the jungles of Peru. Are there jungles in Peru? Or are there just mountains? I think there's only there's 1 tree and 3 mountains in Peru. 1 tree and 3 mountains in Peru. Oh, darling, you know what to do. We'll drink some ayahuasca from a paper cup. Go horseback riding high as fuck. That would be fun. So I was talking to Joel about, borders and stuff yesterday, and I was thinking, I think I mentioned something like that. Why can't I just up and go to Peru? What's stopping me, why do I have to have this piece of paper that says, I can travel around the earth and stuff like that? That's bullshit, right? So, against Joel's wishes, he told me that I shouldn't do it, but I did it. I actually up and left yesterday, and I landed in Peru last night. That's where I am this morning. And I live here now. So, just saying, I didn't take anything. I don't have a passport. I don't even have an ID. All I had was the phone that doesn't work. A guitar pick. You couldn't really see it. There you go. And then my lucky hand, like my monkey paw, literally like my lucky hand, my wish. I've made 1 wish so far. Saving the other 2 for later. So yeah, I got on the plane. It came right down here. They welcomed me. They gave me one of those necklaces made of, it was eyeballs and ears and stuff. And then they told me their history, and they said just make sure and follow our history, and don't just clean up and leave things the way you found it, sort of stuff. And really, everybody down here speaks like perfect English. It sounds more like East Coast English, um, which is Atlantean English, if you will. But so I'm still kind of trying to get the jargon down a little bit. That might be a little racist jargon. So, anywho, as long as it's not big racist, I think we're okay. Um, you know. So, but so far Peru's pretty cool. There's people out there playing these awesome like flutes all the time on top of these mountains with these goats and stuff. Really beautiful place. And there are these like Nazca lines too that are really trippy. The little tent that I'm in actually, it's a pretty big tent, about 50 yards wide by 20 feet tall and 17 inches in diameter. But it's easy to get lost out here. But thanks to the Nazca lines, because they glow in the dark, I can be seen from overhead, which is just strange. All these fucking weird lights constantly going overhead, and I don't understand it. They're quiet and there's no noise. But then they go back into Hollow Earth. So I go into Hollow Earth and I'm like, hey guys, what's going on with these lights? And they're like, your guess is as good as ours. I'm like, what the dude, I'm in the Hollow Earth right now. And they're like, yeah, I mean, you came right in like you understood that, but why are you acting so surprised? I'm like, I don't know. I have a weird fetish with acting surprised, you know? Like when I'm in Walmart and the person says, all right, that'll be $32.50. And I'm like, oh, what? You know? And they're like, $32.50. And I'm like, yeah, I heard you. Here you go. It's not my fault. Let's see if there's any other comments because the chat keeps disappearing. Who told you that I was a rapscallion? Gene, have you been talking about me behind my back? Oh, Ricochet. That's what I should do. I should write a song for all of my friends. All of my friends. I'll write a song about it. Obla dee, obla da. What goes up must come down. I think that's a good start. Is somebody writing this down? Let's see. Well, I'll shut up and get right to it, if it's all the same. I was young, dumb, and full of fluid, never listened to anything. I was raised upright, I was countrified, in church I even sang. But something inside could no longer hide, and it was finding a name. Well, the devil made me do it. I was a puppet on a string. I knew that if I blew it, I could lose the whole dang thing. They say in life there ain't nothing to it. With every pain a little gain. Yeah, the devil made me do it, but I'm to blame. Oh man, that's a Blight Chokum song that I wrote. It was supposed to be a joke song, but then I was like, holy fuck, man, that's like deep. It's like way too deep to be a joke song, but when I'm in character as Blight, it's a lot different. It's a lot more ironic or whatever. I think it's the best thing that you can do is own up to your sins and like be honest with yourself about the world around you, you know, like instead of just following the leader like a bunch of pack dogs or whatever, you know. Pack dogs. It's like I respect people so fucking much when they can talk shit about their own like their parties or stuff like that, or their themselves, like, or they can own up to their mistakes. Or I I just think those are the coolest people ever that don't try to like just be something that they're not. You know. That's why when people come on here and talk about drugs and accuse me of shit, it's like the funniest thing because they just see me and they assume stuff, which is just the nature of the internet. Don't get me wrong, but it makes me. I know that people in real life think the same shit though when they see me, and I've heard that kind of stuff in real life too, to be honest. But like how to lose your tooth, you know. Well, it's a long story. It goes back to when I was 4 years old. I told the story last night. But my mouth, I have had a tragic history with my fucking teeth and my mouth ever since I was a little kid. Anytime I ever had anything trauma or anything done to my body, it was always my face that took the brunt of it, you know? My little mouth. Anywho, none of that shit matters. Pour me bullshit. I don't even know what that was for me, but pour me a beer. I'm gonna put this in my pocket. Quick. I'm gonna put this in my pocket. Hey, hey. Oh shit! Oh my god! I'm so. Are you okay? Are you okay? No, I'm doing it. I would never do that again, but dude, well, sorry. I didn't mean to do it last night. You weren't supposed to be out here. Well, I'm here now. Well, what's your name? Terry. You're Terry? Wow. Wait. You know where the door is, right? Yeah. Just go. Leave. Thank you. I thought it was just me and Therma out here. Therma? Who's there? Water heater, what? Oh my god. Every time she tells the funniest jokes. Sorry, I had to sneeze into my armpit. Is that the armpit? No, that's just a pit. That's where you put your pits after you're done eating a peach. That's how you grow your hair on your armpits. You put peaches and the peaches in your pits, and you pit your peaches against each other, and you place bets against the peaches. And if the one peach wins over the other, and you chose the one that was the winner, you get to collect all that god dang money. You get to go shopping on Black Friday this year. What is everybody doing for Black Friday this year? I can't wait. I know, she was really loud. Therma is my water heater, in case anybody didn't know. She's quite awful. She's quite vocal. And we tend to love her quite often around here. Because unfortunately, some time ago, somebody put Therma in the corner. And it really bothered her, and her daddy. The radiator. That poor unfortunate soul. Go ahead. Make a choice. Anybody else out there, when they were kids, ever fall in love with the Little Mermaid? I fell in love with Little Mermaid. I tried to turn myself into a merman. A mermalian. So I could go down there and hang out with her. So I would like hold my breath underwater as long as I could. Wherever I could, whenever I could. It didn't work out for me. It didn't work out the way I thought it would. We finally met and she was kind of a dick. She's kind of a bitch. A little too spicy for me. But I learned how to hold my breath for a very long time. Years. Did I miss something? I'm missing stuff. Hey, Pastor. There's also a song that I love on Magical Mystery Tour. Um, God, it's just such a fun song when it kicks on, and I have a playlist, a Beatles playlist in my car, and when I'm driving around this area, when that song pops on, it's like, how does it feel to be one of the beautiful people? And just the way the music is going in that, the way it kicks off, it's just that fucking album is just so amazing. This is like my nice, and everything worked out fine after that, and I never had to speak about it ever again, thankfully. Happy almost holidays to everybody as well. I have today off. I didn't even know until like last night when I got home at like 10:30 or something like that. And um, I checked my schedule. I don't even check my. I'm like so weird with like work and jobs. I'm not like irresponsible because I mean I would have checked it even this morning because I get up so early. It doesn't matter where I work. I'm always like because I work in three different pet stores. They own three different. Well, they own four, and I work in three of them. And two of the ones that I work in are exactly like 26 miles away from where I live. One going south and one going west to the ocean in Cambria. And it was cool last night for the melodrama because they did a song at the very end of it about uh, this area. It's called the Central Coast in California. And there's all these little towns in this short little area, small little area, you know. So you can drive a short distance and go through all these cool little towns, little ocean towns. And there's like Morro Bay, Grover Beach, where the melodrama was, Pismo Beach, where there's like a boardwalk and stuff like that, you know. Morro Bay, maybe I already said that, which I love. Morro Bay is just. I realized why it was so important to me because when I was gone, after I left here when I was 17, I had gone there, so, you know, enough times to for it to have an impact on me. And if you've never seen Morro Bay pictures, they're in a. I've actually made a. There's a playlist of mine. I forget what it's called, but I make like a. I do like a full on like I don't know music video thing about it, like a short film down here I filmed when I was like 35, and it was like my birthday, and I had a beard, big fat fucking beard, but I grew it out because I knew I was coming down here to visit my mom, and I was thinking, what could I do for a film? And so I grew out my beard and had it for the music video, and then I think it was my birthday morning, the morning um, that day I shaved, and then because the idea was that I like Story was came from the ocean and then had to return to it. He had to like go through life and do all this stuff, and so that was the idea back then. It was like he came from this great abyss, you know, the ocean or whatever it represents, naked because in the videos I'm naked on the beach and it was fucking freezing. It was November. And it was much colder than it is now. It's like really warm here right now. It's strange. But in that was 2015, I guess, November. And now I go to the spot where I actually did it because my girlfriend was with me and my brother Gabe was with me. So he was up on the cliff watching out for people. But I got full on naked and had Andy, my girlfriend, like film these shots. And they must have thought I was insane. Oh my God. Because I got my ass fucking naked and got laid down like I laid down like I had just washed up on shore, you know. And I laid down in like the cold ass water, and the water the tide was coming up and hitting my ass, and I was like, oh my God, it was so fucking cold. My my wiener was like gone, and yeah. Anyways, there's the funny little shot of it, and then like basically yeah. So he's like born. Story's born. He's clean shaven. So but by the end of it, you know, that's when he goes through life and experiences what it's like to be a human or whatever, an artist or creative, whatever, that's whatever I was trying to say. And then he ends up going back to Morro Bay, and so there's this kind of like this, like in my opinion, iconic sort of shot of Story going back to there's the video that finally he's just on foot walking to the rock, the Morro Rock. And then I fully clothed. I had like a suit and a tie on and a big fat wig um, and everything. And I just walked out into my girlfriend stood on the beach or the shore, and it was like rainy, it was like stormy and shit. But like I like walked out into the ocean until they couldn't see me anymore. And my mom thought I was like gonna die. And there were these like surfers out there like watching me. They were just like, "What the fuck is that guy doing?" Because I was like fully clothed, but then because it was my mom was worried that I was gonna get sucked under or something like that. But it was a great shot. So I was like, I was born from the ocean, went through life, and then I returned to it at the end, which we all do in our own weird little ways, anyways, right? But I made like a little 4-part mini music video series out of it. There's a playlist in my channel somewhere with those. Get to see my butt. And there was like the morning we were staying at a hotel in Morro Bay, my girlfriend and I. In the morning of my birthday, I don't. It's kind of hell on earth going with people to hotels. It's different if it's just me, or living by myself, or living with people. That for that matter can be difficult because I get up so early in the morning, and I'm always worried that I'm gonna wake people up. But if I'm in a hotel and I'm with somebody who sleeps in even until 8, I would literally be lying there for like 4 hours, just like, okay, because I just can't sleep. I wake up and I'm tired. It's not like I'm just like, yay! But my brain is just like, go draw, go do something. You're burning daylight. You're wasting time. I always feel like I'm wasting time when I'm not drawing, and that's why I'm like almost like frantic to always be creating now, because when I'm not creating, I feel lesser than, or like I'm like everything's wrong. Like when I'm not making art, life isn't the same, you know. But that's the thing I need to work on too, because it can't all be it can't always be about art. It just can't. I have to figure it out, because nobody else is going to do it for me, that's for sure. I have to find this balance. I just want to find some happiness too. I say that I'm grateful and I'm content, and I certainly am for many things, but I'm such a prick about other things. I should, I should, could, would, shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? That's why it's like silly just to even talk about being a better person or doing certain things. I just feel like actions speak so much louder. Like if you want to save money, take action. There's a bank down the street. You get your rubber band gun, you go down there and you rob the goddamn place. You don't beat around the bush, you just take it. You take what you want. This is America, goddamn it. Take it. You take it. If it's yours, you take it. Even if it's not yours, you take it. You take it on home for the family this Christmas time. All right, happy holidays, everybody. Happy holidays. When you finally kiss your nod. Let me check the chat. There's been a lot of people watching this morning, and I really appreciate that. It's been really cool to have the company. Hi, Allie. Well, you guys are being really sweet. Morrow is in Morro, and then Bay as in Michael Bay. Brilliant, genius. Uh, really good at jazzercise. I don't know what else he does, but he made this jazzercise video. Brilliant director. Thanks, RL. Thank you so much. All right. It is. It's I feel like even if I wasn't making art, I would. Yeah, you bet, Ali. Um, if I wasn't making art, I would definitely be a you know, an ally. What's the word I'm looking for? Like a, I'd probably. It's hard for me, and I'm being brutally honest right now. Like I don't like a lot of art that's out there. I just don't like it, and I don't collect other people's art. I'm weird. I'm like even with certain kinds of music, there's bands out there that I should like that I just don't care about in a way. I mean, I respect, I have a deep admiration for people that make art, don't get me wrong. But it's almost like my approach to creating it and my reasons for it existing within me, and especially with why I do it, is very, very different from so-called like a mainstream version of what people are set out to do, maybe, you know. I mean, what it boils down to, that's not all the way true. It's just like there's nuance with everything, right? That's why it's so hard to say anything because especially when you're like me, a fucking schizo. Or I say one thing, I say one word, and within that one stupid word, there's five ways that I could interpret it, or that I'm thinking that somebody else might be interpreting it or misconstruing it in their own mind. And so I always have to do these little caveats and stuff and like disclaimers. And you ever do that kind of stuff? Where you just can't even get the point out without, because nowadays people get so offended, or especially like through text when you're texting or writing online. Texting, writing. Um, it just every like language. Joel was saying made a good point, or like, was bringing this up yesterday. Somebody else maybe made the point, but Joel brought it up about how Oh yeah, it's Modest Mouse, the Modest Mouse song, where language actually it gets us in trouble, and it can create way bigger problems than anything because it's so easy to misinterpret things. You know, I've lost friends simply because of the way that they misconstrued a comment that I put in like some kind of chat form, or like a comment on a post on Facebook or something like that. And like literally they unfriended me because they read it wrong and instead of how I wrote it, like in a sarcastic, I'm a very sarcastic, cynical smartass at times, as most of you know. And there's also this gentle part of me, and like the old wise man version of me, and the old, you know, crotchety old man. And there's you don't get just one of me you know, and it's like that for everybody. Everybody has their own little personalities that, you know. For me, it was literally just ways for me to keep my family happy, to keep people from, you know, it's almost like the more you you put yourself out there as a kid, or if you know, if you're the more you show yourself, the more invisible you are in a sense sometimes. It's weird, but it was a tool that I used as a kid. The more out there I was, the more people ignored me, like when I wanted to be ignored. It's hard to explain because like I was using these weird manipulative, you know, tools and like psychological manipulative, whatever the terms I'm looking for are. I learned them from somewhere, probably I don't know from who, but probably my older brother, because he was way ahead of his time. Um, but I remember even at a young age, just kind of like learning how to manipulate like my dad, and like into getting what I wanted or something like that. Like I remember thinking to myself at a very young age, I'm like, well, I'm like smarter than my dad. And that's like weird for like a 4-year-old to think, you know. Um, I don't think that now. I don't, you know, that's just a weird way to think. I don't think I'm smarter than anybody, except for, yep, you, Terry, you son of a bitch. Don't fucking look at me, dude. Just don't do it. Okay, I'm just kidding. You too, you old bastard. I see you too, motherfucker. God damn. Terry is the one that does most of the art. I just come in here and I just go over the lines and make it look like I do it. So I shouldn't be so hard on the guy, but every time I say that, he laughs because he's like, hard on. I'm like, oh my gosh. One time I said, oh my God, and he's like, don't take the Lord's name in vain. And I'm like, what? God, that's his name, God? That's a weird name. I mean, how full of yourself do you have to be to name yourself God? I'm full of it. I'm full of it. Full of the Holy Spirit. I'm so full. I'm so full. It's Christmas morning in Idaho. You hear the bird? That's the early bird. I felt a worm. Oh my god, they're coming. The birds are coming. They're all over me, the worms. Waiting for the worms to come. If anybody is a Pink Floyd fan out there, I just got the song in my head now. I'm gonna have to listen to it today. But I don't know if you've ever seen Pink Floyd The Wall, the film, but there's a few different versions of songs in there that are really cool. Like there's a different version of Mother. And you can find that version online if you just type in the Mother from the soundtrack version. Um, I really wish that I forget what they did in it. They did something different. Yeah, it like when it goes into like the middle part for the solo, I think they still use the movie part instead of. I wish that they would have done like just one cohesive version of that song because the way that it starts and how powerful it is and how the build up and Roger Waters' voice like when he's like Mother will she tell you little, it's just like oh my god. I really love the final cut. Like the final cut was like my favorite album like when I was like 13 and I just listened to that tape until the tape broke. And that was, you know, as a lot of you probably know if you're into Pink Floyd, that was like Roger Waters' last album and it was like Nick Mason had pretty much checked out of the not Nick Richard Wright had already left the band. David was just doing random stuff on the album, nothing very much. He sang one song, "Not Now, John," and then yeah, it was pretty much Roger's baby. But then I guess I was reading in an interview from back then that David was saying that like uh, about the recording, about like how when Roger came up to them and he was like, I want to do this album next because they had just gotten done with the Wall. And it was just David said that it was just a bunch of outtakes from the Wall. Because if and that's what it was interesting because as a kid I loved the fucking Wall, but then when I listened to the final cut, there were like a lot of similarities in it to the Wall. So when I heard similar melodies and things like that, it just got into my head like, oh yeah, this is like the Wall Part Two, and that's exactly what it has always sort of been like to me. You can listen to the Wall and then listen to the final cut, and they kind of go right together. The final cut's production, in my opinion, is a little lesser than because I don't think they had quite the same sort of budget because I think the confidence was shifting at that point within the band. Um, Certainly within the personalities in the band. So unfortunate because like man, Roger's words with David Gilmour's voice is just was quite magical. Like when I think about some of the happiest times in my life as a kid, Pink Floyd was always there, like in my ears. That's a wonderful, you know. A lot of people, I don't know. I listen to like all their shit. So like Metal, Meddle is like one of their albums. Obscured by Clouds. They did a few soundtracks. They did like 3 or 4 different soundtracks or something like that. There's one called More from the film More. It's a really cool soundtrack. It's strange, but it starts off with like all these, funny enough, all these birds talking. Thanks, Allie. You know, there's a really cool version of The Wall, uh, um, and it's done as if it were like Super Mario Brothers or like Nintendo or something like that. Like, I listened to it at work a long time ago, and it was so cool. Like how they programmed this keyboard just to play like everything, you know. And they do that with a few different albums from different bands, I think. But and they did. It's kind of like you know how they did like the Dub Side of the Moon and that sort of stuff, which I think is so cool. I love like hearing how like other genres can. You know, I'm not so like much into like how you know these bluegrass artists will play like AC/DC. It's like, hey, it's rock and roll on a mandolin. Whoa! That's like the whole shtick, you know. That's like the whole gimmick. It's like I don't give a fuck about that. It's like I want to hear how like a whole genre, like a whole different band, like or whatever, you know, will take a song and like change it into something else, or um, not. I guess that's similar to what I'm complaining about, but there's just something about like turning songs into like bluegrass. I don't like. There's just something gimmicky about it that I find really cheesy. I don't know. When it's just a stereotypical sound, I don't like stereotypical stuff, I guess. I'm a big silly person. Like if it's within a genre, obviously the bluegrass world is like there's a certain discipline and there's a certain sound. You know, obviously you can't deviate from that. It's not like you're hearing mandolins and those sorts of instruments mixed with like synthesizers and like, you know, Britpop and stuff. I mean, you know, there's REM and things like that, but it's not the same. It's not bluegrass. Um, it just seems like I don't know. It just seems like we're girls and we're gonna sing AC/DC songs, and it's like they might be the coolest band in the world. I'm sure they are, but it's just like it's just a gimmicky shtick. It's just I don't know. It just seems like the easiest way to make money or to get followers or whatever. I don't know. I've just always preferred the trenches as I don't know to be original as possible. I don't know. It's like impossible. I was talking with Joel yesterday. It's impossible to be absolutely 100% authentic and genuine or whatever when it comes to art and your creation because you're always inspired and moved by other artists or anything really. And so it's a constant evolution, I think, and it should be. That's how art is, you know. But when anything becomes like, oh, I don't know how to explain it without sounding really shallow about it. It's just you can tell because even then, if I heard somebody in a bluegrass group playing something in like I don't know, being more inventive about it instead of just I don't know how to explain it without sounding really silly. But people, it's like I was telling Joel yesterday too. It's like I feel like people can tell when something is genuine or like it's just people are just pandering in a sense, you know. And again, to each his own. If people are out there making money playing songs and using a gimmick, that's what art is too. It's like that's part of it all too. That's a corner of the art ballpark, you know what I mean? That's just it exists. Just like busking is a thing, just like the people at the top, just like at the bottom, you know. It's all part of everything, and I wouldn't be the same without those kinds of artists in the world too, you know. Because then where do I draw the line with that kind of thinking? But at the same time, it just kind of annoys me. I just don't like gimmicks and like obvious like we're different. All this music is it's so genius. They turned that song into like a metal song. Oh, they're so cool. They turned that crazy song into like a bluegrass song. It's just like it's the easiest fucking thing. You can do that. You can just do it. Go buy a ukulele and you can fucking do it yourself. It's like it's not that hard. I sound like such a dick. I appreciate originality. One of my best I would call him one of my best friends. We don't talk very much. His name is Grant Gordy. Motherfucker is one of the best guitar players on the planet. And I'm not even lying. If you wanted to look him up, his name's Grant Gordy. He's played Carnegie Hall, and he's played with Bella Fleck and the Flecktones. He's played with David Grisman. Yeah, the David Grisman Quartet, who David actually played with Jerry Garcia with in like dog music and stuff for a long time. But you know, I think my claim to fame is my fucking friends because they're all they're so fucking talented, my friends. But Grant is just like an amazing dude, like the most genuine, authentic dude I probably ever met in my entire life, besides Joel. And yeah, at 16 he dropped out of school, started painting houses with his dad, who was also a guitarist. But at 16, man, Grant could play guitar like Jimi Hendrix, and I was just like, what the super humble guy too, not a showboat or anything like that, just like the most amazing person probably I've ever met in my life. Grant Gordy. But he's a bluegrass artist. So I mean, when I'm saying this stuff, I kind of know what I'm talking about. I've heard a lot of bluegrass, and I played with him a lot. He taught me a lot of stuff on guitar back in the day. So I'm not just like, my point is, I'm not trying to just talk shit for the sake of talking shit. Because his stuff is super fucking great and original, and it's bluegrass, but I don't even know if he would call it that, but it is. I think it would be in that category, Tower Records or something. um, but yeah, Grant Gordy, man, he's a wonderful person, and he deserves every ounce of success that's coming to him. In case somebody can find. Oh, it's on Spotify. I used to make music and put it out there. Yeah, if you even like just Google Story Grub, all sorts of stuff will come up. Reviews of my albums, OnlyFans, which is now just on. Come on down to onlyfriends.com. Come on down to onlyfriends.com. The music sounds just like that. But don't get me wrong. Actually, Grant taught me this. I forget what they're called. I think they're called diminished. He taught me that. And I don't know why, but that always like, because in like the bluegrass stuff, it's like whatever. He's a fucking wild man, but stupid fingernails. Had like there's stuff on them, or it's like paint or something, blood, or what is that? What the fuck? Actually, one night back in, Jesus, I don't know why I remember these things. Back in 1999 or something like that, we lived in Grants Pass. It's just a coincidence. That's his name. But we lived in Grants Pass, and we were hanging out one night. And I had my guitar, and he had his, and we walked, I don't know, like 20 or so blocks down this drag in Grants Pass, all the way down to the Riverside Park by the river, the Rogue River. Excuse me. And we were walking by this gas station, and this this guy, these dudes are like hanging out by. It was like a Friday, I think. So there's all these people out, and these like fucking wannabe gangsters or something walk up to us. And I was like, I'm like super protective of my friends. So this kid was like, he was just lucky. He got off. He was just lucky. Anyways, I'm not a fighter, but if you mess with my friends, you don't want to. You're not going to be in a good place. But he came up and he was just like kind of stopped us, and he's like, "Hey, what the fuck? What the fuck?" to us, and we're like, "What?" And he's like, "What the fuck? You playing music? You playing songs for change and shit?" Like at us, and he got right in Grant's face, and I'm like kind of getting over to him, and Grant's like, "No, we're not." He's like, "No, we're not playing for change, but I'll play you a song for free." And he had this big smile on his face, and the guy was just like so like confused, like he was expecting Grant to like talk shit back or something, but Grant is like this gentle little soul, and it just like shot that guy's energy down. So I was just like, oh, okay. And then he just like walked away with his tail between his legs, and we just carried on. And I remember asking Grant that night all these questions about guitar, like asking him like, because in the when you're learning how to play, your index finger is like number one, two, three, four. So when you're like placing your finger on the strings and you're reading music or tablature or stuff like that, it's important to know. He was telling me things like, yeah, when you're doing this, like you go one, two, three, four, and I'm like asking all these questions, and I'm like, but why is it one, two, three, four? Why is it this and this? Why? Because it like I never understood the music theory. I never practiced music theory, and others that have say that I don't need to. I understand the idea and the concepts and stuff, but um, it's just like with art school, people say like, oh, the more theory you learn, like the worse it gets, kind of like the worse you get, to a degree. Obviously, it depends on what kind of musician you want to be. I never wanted to be like a chamber musician or a studio musician or something like that, or a shredder, somebody who could just shred. I mean, I would love to be able to shred, but it's not. It doesn't interest me. I've always just wanted to write songs in whatever way that you know, whatever way I could on whatever instruments I could. But yeah, anyways, Grant's a really cool dude. I think yeah, he just had a baby. He lives in I think he lives in Brooklyn. Or, no, he lives in Queens. I think. Yeah, he's an East Coaster. He's been out there for quite a while, and he's made quite a name for himself out there. He's traveled all over the fucking world with his music. I'm quite proud of him. He was on the cover of like Bluegrass magazine or something like that. I mean, this dude's fucking talented. Did a lot of psychedelics with him. I think I'm gonna go down to St. Louis today. I didn't know it, but I didn't. I have the day off today, which I wasn't expecting. But we're doing like a Christmas thing today with my mom and my aunt and me. And I need to go get some stuff for them. I don't even know. I didn't even. I don't really do. I mean, I like being together and stuff on the holidays and that sort of stuff, but I don't do presents, and I'm not good at that kind of stuff. I just don't know what to get people, and they have any if they like art, one of my pieces. I never know what to give them. I don't know. So I'm gonna go somewhere today and try to find something special for them because they've done so much. I just I'm horrible at shopping for people, but it'll be a cool day because yeah, I want to go to the ocean and just chill for a minute. I love the ocean so much. It's gonna be busy out there, I'm sure, but I don't care. I might go work on that mural in a Tuscadero too, but I'm not sure. Like this is the first day in like 2 weeks where I have this much range in my neck. Like this is insane. It hurts a little bit here and there, but last night at the melodrama, it's like there's this pain coming from like my shoulder blade up. The only way I can describe it I visualize pain a lot, and I visualize everything pretty much, and like a bat. Um, uh, yeah, and it's like this, but then it started going up into like my head, and then there is a spot like right up here where, you know how like when like you have like you something itches like right here, for example, you like go to scratch it, and then you have a weird sensation like right here at the same time, like it goes like a flash or something like that. Like it's the weirdest thing. Um, but it's almost then I was thinking about it, it's like, oh, it's almost like an electrical shock or something like that. That's what it sort of feels like because it's just like this quick quick little sharp pain, you know, like a jolt. And last night, whatever is hitting my, whatever nerve it is or something, it's just going, I could just visualize it going right up from my lower um, shoulder, bottom of my shoulder blade, up the back of my neck and hitting this like spot up here in the back of my head. Like it's just, like I can feel it right now, but it's not like shocking. It's just tense. And, but it reminds me of like a lightning bolt, like a flash of lightning. And that's what I see in my head when it, you know, if I turn wrong, it just does that. It just goes boom, like hits really quick. But it's like in my brain or my, you know, mind, I see like a lightning bolt kind of thing. It's interesting. Because then you look at trees and they look like lightning bolts too. The way that they just, or like lungs, like the veins in us, you know, like it's crazy how nature does that. It just repeats itself over and over and over. It's really, it's really cool. But it can be painful too. Yeah, my whole point in bringing that up was just that if I'm sitting there drawing on that mural for so long like that, I don't want to mess up my shoulder anymore today. I want to just take it easy on it. But I need to work on it. So yeah, I should probably get going here. I'm sorry, I'm being boring now. But yeah, there's maybe I'll start doing like a recommendation of music. There's a song by a band called Penguin Cafe Orchestra, and the song is called Numbers 1 through 4. I brought this up before, so if you have heard me say this, ignore it. But it's from the album. Let's see. I'll just show you the. I don't know if I can even show you the album without them like copywriting this, but it looks like this, like that. And the because there's different versions of this song, but the one that I love the most is on this album, and it's called Numbers 1 through 4, and it's an instrumental. But oh my gosh, lately it's just been like right there, hitting me right in the heart. So that's my little music recommendation for the day, and hope everybody out there stays happy and healthy and hairy and carry and dare I say maybe even a little bit scary. And I hope your family's good and all that fun stuff. Yeah, it's almost done. Almost done. Hold on. I'll raise it so you can see it. Yeah. And so basically you can kind of see where the drips are coming down here. That's where it's going to sort of end. There might be like some loose stuff down here and there. But for the most part, it's coming together. And I got John's address now, so I can just, when I'm done with it, I'm going to put it in a tube along with a few other little goodies and just send it his way. Thanks, Joel. Thanks, Pastor. I appreciate that. It's coming together. I might even like how I did it at the top here. The rounded top. I might even try to do something like that at the bottom just to make it more encapsulated or whatever. Look more finished. That might look kind of cool. I feel like the finishing is always the hardest part for me. Because I get down here and I'm like, oh, what the fuck am I going to do? What am I going to do? Sometimes I just draw upside down. That way something like this comes more naturally down here. That way, because if I look at it like it's the bottom, it kind of like makes my brain do wobbly things. But if I turn it around, act like it's the top, I'm like, oh, I'll just finish it like it's nobody's business. It's not, even though it is spontaneous and out of my brain, it's like, it's not like I can just sit down and just whip it out so easily. sometimes it is, even though it comes out of nowhere, it's still quite a process in here. And all of these like decisions you have to make in the spur of the moment. There's so many things you just have to think about within like a split second when you're doing this kind of stuff. Because I will not go back and white out anything for that, you know. I don't know. I'm just babbling. Maybe I'll sing y'all out, okay? That was a little song I wrote about 18 or 19 years ago. I forget what I called it. Had a name. That doesn't matter. Okay. Y'all be good to yourselves and to those around you. It's the time of the year when a lot of people could use the love. And I certainly appreciate all the love. All right? Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. Like a pool or something like that. And like I could, it could be, like I think you just said, reflecting. Absolutely. What the hell was that? My cat just jumped down off onto the car. All right, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate the company. I love you all so goddamn much. It's true. I really fucking do. Oh, baby.